All is new. The day is just beginning. The only one stirring is the mother of the house. The bird's song, her only audible companion. A new day is here. Fresh and clean and full of possibilities, but the first thing to do is not to reach for the to-do list, but to lay it aside and seek help, guidance, and strength for the day from the one who created it. A new day is here.
Wow, wasn't that a beautiful intro? I'm sure all your mornings look like that, right? Not. I am so excited today to talk about this topic from the place of a mom of young children. I feel like this topic is maybe talked about a lot, but not necessarily from the viewpoint of someone who's going through it and knows what it's like when the sleep is low and the busyness level is high, and it's just so many things tugging at us, and sometimes our quiet time is not where we want it to be. Sometimes it's not as often as we'd like, and I feel you, girl. I'm right there with you. So I'm glad you're here today. It's gonna be a fun video. I'm gonna tell you what I do for my quiet time, how often, how long. There are definitely ideas out there that work for some people that I don't necessarily think work for me. So we're just gonna be honest and share you where I've been lately and where I hope to be going. I actually have a lot of fun products and resources that I want to share with you guys too throughout this video. So I'll put everything that I can link down below. So check out the whole description box when you're done watching it, so you can maybe refer to some of the resources that I share with you guys today. So first of all, I am not a coffee girl in the morning. I don't know about you guys. I don't make myself a cute coffee drink or anything like that. I just get up and get to it. I feel like if I make it too much of this like ritual, then it just doesn't happen because the barrier to entry is like so much. Yes, sometimes I will light a candle, pour myself water in a nice glass, but a lot of the time I'm literally just plopping down with my Stanley tumbler and getting to it. So maybe like lay aside some of those aesthetics that you see out there and just do it. It might not look as pretty as you hoped, but that's not the goal anyway, right guys? So when I say quiet time, what am I talking about? I'm a Christian, so I'm talking about my personal Bible study and or devotions and or just basically my set apart time with God. Like, trust me, I spend all day with God. I have little kids. I need him so much. I'm with him when I'm washing my dishes, when I'm driving in the car, when my kids ask a tough question. By the way, my kids are all 5 and younger, so that's kind of where I'm coming from. But yeah, it's more of the set apart time where I'm actually putting myself at Jesus' feet and seeing what he has for me. And I know at this stage of life, sometimes it can feel so frustrating when you're not like getting some meat and profound nuggets and like all these inspirational thoughts and stuff. It can be kind of frustrating, but I think it's important that we give God the chance to come to us and speak to us. I think some days are just gonna be more memorable than others. So for myself, I do have my devotions in the morning. It's just what works for me, but I'm actually usually having it around 7:45. My daughter gets on the bus. This will change here in just a few days, but she'll get on the bus in the morning and then I will come inside. The cooler morning air has like kind of refreshed me. I still plan to step outside of my porch even after I don't have to take her out to the bus stop. I feel like that sunlight and the crisp morning air just does something for me. But anyway, I will sit down, and that's my first point. I know a lot of people say that the best thing to do is to have a dedicated spot. Like some people even go as far as to have a prayer closet, you know, and I'm not knocking that, but for me, that's not how I do it. I actually like to have my devotions in different places. Often the leather chair by the window in my living room. I just like to look out and see the world go by. Sometimes in the sun porch or even up here. I don't do it in bed, it doesn't work. Like I said, I do it later on in the day. I don't do it first thing in the morning. I've definitely had plenty of time to like wake up a little bit. That's just what works for me, and I love the system right now. But I know that doesn't really work for everyone. I should do a whole video about how to get your kids to sleep and to stay in their rooms in the morning. My kids, I get them up at 8 or 8:30 in the morning, depending what we have going on that day. And so that does carve out some time for me to have some personal devotion. So I have no excuse, even though some days it doesn't happen. Confessions of a real mom, guys. But back to what I was saying. Reading your Bible on the deck of the cabin when you're out in the woods on a family vacation is just so, I just love different locations. I feel like it shakes things up, makes things interesting. And if you are gonna be doing that, I found something that can be helpful. I don't do this a lot right now. Most of my study materials I keep in the coffee table in my living room, but I have it in the past. I saw this from Katie Vogtberg, and it is a really fun idea, and I have done it in the past, and I plan to do it again this summer, is to have a maybe Bible study tote or a devotional bag. I don't know, whatever cutesy name you want to give it. Here is one that I've used before. Just like a little tote, something simple. Here's like a little market bag. And in here, I will throw a little picnic blanket. I just have something small here, so you can really have devotions wherever. Sometimes I will have it at the park while the kids are riding their bikes or something like that. Depends what they're doing. Sometimes you really gotta be, you know, focused on the kids. But I've done that on occasion. And then also in the bag, I will have like a pen, notebook, sometimes little cards. If somebody comes to mind, I can write them a little note right then and there, let them know I'm thinking of them, praying for them. Then the trick is to remember to get the stamp on it and put it in the mail. But you know, it's good intentions, right? And then you can just put your devotional book in there or your Bible, whatever you feel like you need. You can throw water in there, a snack, whatever. I know some people light a candle. I didn't light a candle. I figure if I'm lighting a candle sitting on a park bench, people might look at me a little strange, but you do what works for you. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of shaking it up and not always doing it at the same spot. But maybe that helps you to have just that routine habit. Like I walk from brushing my teeth to this certain chair or whatever. That's fine too. But I just find that shaking up the location is one of the easiest ways to make it interesting. Next, my favorite Bible I got from Hosanna Revival, and it's just so beautiful. It's the ESV version, and it has note sections on the side, and then you can like highlight it up, do whatever. I really love this one. I'm planning to mark it up, write lots of notes in it, and pass it on to one of my kids someday. I think that would be fun, like grandma's Bible type of thing. I also have this Bible here that I don't really art journal a ton, but I'll take this to the cabin sometime, or like when I'm gonna chill like after Sunday afternoon or something, and I'll do like art journaling in it, which is just like fun doodles. Here, I just used a ballpoint pen, watercolor illustrations, you know, that type of thing. And I plan to do this over time and pass this one along to my daughter because, one, it's so beautiful and girly. You can get these on Amazon. This is the King James Version. And yeah, it's so pretty. So I do have two Bibles, but this is the one I use most of the time. I have a bunch more things to show you here, but I'll do that in a little bit as we get to them. When I was talking about highlighting in your Bible, I found the cutest highlighters on Amazon. I will link them below, but they are beautiful pastel, adult looking colors, you know, forget the bright neon yellow, which I guess that stands out too, but yeah. They're pretty, they're rectangle, like square. They write really nicely, and even my daughter tries to kite them from me. I'm like, no, those are mom's. But yeah, these would make a great gift item too. I've given them away as gifts, and I just am a big fan. So how often do I have my devotions and how long? I told you that I usually sit down around 7:45. Honestly, some days it's 5 minutes, some days it's 15. It really doesn't go a lot longer than that in my typical normal life, so judge me, I know, but I'd rather be consistent with something shorter than try to put in long chunks of time once in a while. That's just me, and if I'm being honest, I probably have my quiet time about 5 days a week. I don't usually do it on Sundays, and which maybe sounds a little backwards, but I guess in my mind I'm thinking I'm going to church, I'm getting good thoughts and stuff there, and sometimes when you have too much, it's just like information overload, but that's just me justifying things maybe. I probably should do it on Sunday mornings, and then there's usually another day of the week or two that just it gets lost in the shuffle or things don't go to plan. That's about the frequency lately. I will say I was the most consistent when I read through the Bible in a year. I had my devotions every single day, and if I ever got behind, I got behind by 1 day at the most, because it is a ton of reading if you're gonna have to double up. So I really loved the Bible recap. We read through the Bible chronologically. I listened to the little podcast as I was getting my hair combed. After I'd read it in my bed, I would just like roll out of bed, read it right away, and then go into my bathroom and get ready while listening to the recap about the passage that I just read. So I really like that system too, and you're gonna hear a lot of different things I've done in the past and if I liked them or didn't, and hopefully some of them will work for you. But that whole year kept me very consistent and I loved it. So you could go that route with like a big long-term goal, like 365 days. I'm gonna read through the Bible, and maybe that will work for you. It worked for me well, but I didn't want to do it right away again. Again, I wanted to be kind of excited and I wanted to be inspired to do it, and I just didn't think I wanted to do it back to back. I think my goal is gonna be to do it at least every 5 years, maybe more, we'll see how it goes. But this year, I'm trying a new approach where it is more of a choose your own adventure type of deal, and I think you guys might love this idea. I'm gonna spit out a whole bunch of different options, and then the idea is that you pick maybe like 3 of them and have those in your rotation. That way, if you have a shorter amount of time, you can do something a little bit easier, and if you have a little bit more dedicated time, you can do something that's a little bit longer, or you can just like, if you're in the mood, you can do a certain thing, you know? So one of those things that I like to do is the SOAP method, and that's where you read the Bible, I was just going through Proverbs, like I would read one chapter and then you write down the scripture. That's the S. The O is observations. You can write down any observations you see. A is for applications. That's my favorite section. Like, how am I going to apply this in my life today? And then P is prayer. Okay, I lied. The prayer is my favorite because for that part, I write down my prayer. And so I actually use a notebook. And I, just in time for this video, have 2 new notebooks listed in my shop. My brand is called Fox Sparrow, and you can find it on Megan Fox Unlocked. But I designed 2 beautiful notebooks. One is just a generic floral print notebook. By the way, the ones I'm showing you have black spirals. This is just like the proof. The real ones will come with white spirals. But anyway, here is the one. It's just like a beautiful floral lined notebook with a little heading space at the top. And you can use this for planning, for anything, but you can also use it for your, prayer journal, your devotional time, anything like that. And then I have a specific one that I titled Church Notes. This one's my personal favorite. It's very subtle and adult and still fun at the same time with the pretty pink and rust color there. Very on brand. And it just says Church Notes, Proverbs 7:3, which talks about writing God's word on the tablet of your heart. Actually, inside the cover here is that quote. And then, yeah, the inside is just, again, the lined note pages that you can write down whatever you need to while you're in your quiet time. So check those out. They are in the shop currently. So the soap method would be one option, and that's what I do in the mornings when I have a little bit more dedicated time, and I really enjoy it, like the writing it down of it. It's just really good for me. I had never done that before in the past. It always sounded like too much work, but I really like the writing, taking pen to paper. And best pens, they're so cute, they're speckly, and they come with refills. I currently have 1 pen in the set, and it's like my least favorite one, the mint color, but it comes in like pink, white, taupe. I don't know. They're so pretty. They write so nice, and they're just like, they're my special pens. Yet somehow they're lost. Where are they at? Children. Anyway, like I said, that's just the stage of life I'm in. Anyway, so yeah, those are some of the best pens. But get a pen that you like and a notebook that you like and that you're excited to fill up. I think that is really important. And then on days where I feel like I have a little less time, I will just grab a devotional book. I like devotionals because they're easy and quick, and it's somebody else's giving you some thoughts for the day. But I feel like they're not usually very scripture heavy, and sometimes they'll take verses out of context, and they're sometimes kind of fluffy. But there is one that I've been enjoying lately called Homespun Devotions. She sent it to me, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's almost like a biography of her life in some ways, but she's talking about practical lessons she learned in her real life. And I love that as a mom. I feel like sometimes devotionals can be like these pie in the sky, old men sitting at their desk writing things, which that has their place too. Theology is very important. But I do like how she meets, oh, look at that. I didn't even realize Cheryl signed it for me. Look at that. But it's worth some money that way. I will be keeping it though, don't worry. And then I have a pretty bookmark in here. I think this is from Elizabeth Shielk, maybe. She has a really pretty website with lots of good inspiring quotes and Bible things. Check her out. But yeah, I will gravitate towards more of a devotional like this on days where I just want to get it done. I want to get it off my list, which is that a bad mentality to go into quiet time with? I don't know, but I feel like it's good to have personal disciplines. Do things that you don't always feel like doing and just create that habit and the muscle memory, all that. So this is one that I've been enjoying lately, and it's really good. I also have the Bible app on my phone. I will link the exact one that I use. They have a lot of different short-term devotionals that you can go through, like a 5-day program, just different plans that keep you on track. Yeah, a lot of these are like 5 days, sometimes 2 weeks. Discovering Your Purpose, 5 Days of Friendship Foundations. Carrie Job has one on here, the Blessing Devotional Plan. They often work with well-known people in the Christian community. So yeah, I don't know how theologically sound all of these things are, but it gives you like a good thought to start your day usually, and I do these occasionally. I was more into them last year. I've tried to move away from that a little bit this year, but again, very short, quick solution, and you usually glean something out of it. Also, I have several devotionals here from the Daily Grace Co. They have a lot of good material. This is a very thick one, and they're really beautiful too. Like, they look nice on your coffee table. Again, I like to switch it up. If I do this too much, then I'm ready for something else. So anyway, it's a good thing to keep in my repertoire though. And something that I like about them is that they'll often be like shorter and like, okay, this is a 3-week study. I can do that for 3 weeks and be consistent, and I try not to get behind, and it's just like a good motivator to keep going. This is one from them that's gonna segue into another option that you can do, which is just prayer. But for me as a Mennonite, I feel like that goes against everything that is ingrained in me. Like, I think we're very strong on like the works, and we got to be doing and busy and helping and serving and reading the Bible and writing things down. And I think sometimes we don't put as much emphasis on just sitting, being with God, listening to Him, praying, being bored, just sitting in his presence, maybe listening to worship songs. I don't do that, but that's another thing that some people do. You could put that on your list, just to sit and listen to worship music and just meditate, have a little worship session. You might want some AirPods if you're gonna be, you know, blasting music in the morning. These are my favorite. They are pink, actually. I have the white ones, but the white ones were for some reason sold out, but very affordable. And I have proved to myself I can't buy the expensive ones because I do lose them. Like, this is my 3rd pair. And this is only May. Okay, maybe my 2nd pair this year. But anyway, I really like these. Keeps things quiet. Or if you're listening to the Bible recap, you know, listen to it in your ear while you're getting ready for the day. Works great. But the Daily Grace Co. has come out with a new book called The 31 Days of Prayer. Actually, I'm not sure how new it is, but it's new to me. And it's 31 Days of Prayer for my children. And so it's really pretty, it's small, it's a great gift to tuck in with like a baby meal or something. But in it, I really appreciate how it has prayers for your younger children or for your older children. This is great for moms who have their children out of the house. There's just some short scripture reading prayers. And then there's, what I love is there's space, which I haven't written in here. Maybe I will. I'm not a big writer in books. Like, I love to highlight up my Bible and stuff. But for books, I like to just keep them nice and then pass them on. But there is a whole section where you can write down your prayers. Just a really good idea, very simple and straightforward. And like each day focuses on something different, like faithfulness, hope, speech, wisdom, you know, that type of stuff. So another thing you might want to check out. And I did mention art journaling, right? That's something you could definitely do. I feel you could be meditating and like doing adult coloring books or something like that. For me, it's just too involved. I just set up a little section to be coloring or drawing and like maybe listening to an audio Bible or something. It's just not something I've done. I'm not saying never, but that's another thing you could maybe put on your little menu of things to try and put throughout your rotation. Maybe you do that 2 days a week or on the weekends or something. But yeah, take those ideas that I just gave you and mix them up throughout your week. See what you have time for, see what you're in the mood for. One more thing that I did not mention that I will sometimes do, and you guys are gonna be like, that's not devotions, that's not reading God's word, but I have felt so inspired through them. I don't even know if you guys can get these. I think they're a Mennonite publication, but they're so good. It's called Motherhood, and it's actually a magazine. Can I read a magazine and call it devotions? I don't know, but it's such good thoughts from moms that are in the stage of life I'm in now or have been in that stage and they're looking back. There's like kind of cute artwork. It's definitely very like do it yourself. I think there's just one mom that gets it all together, and there's 3 volumes so far. I've really appreciated them. And like there's some stuff that I would never call like my devotional time. It's just like mom content. But yeah, I feel like they're usually pretty heavy on biblical principles, very uplifting, I find. And so some mornings, if I'm in the mood and I just feel stale, or I feel like I want to shake it up, I want to reward myself, do something fun, I will grab one of these magazines. Tell me if that's not appropriate for devotional time. I don't know. So yeah, just having those options in the morning, grab this book or grab that journal or do this or that, has just been really helpful for me and made me look forward to my devotions and not just like it be a drag or another thing to check off. Oh, don't get me wrong. Some days it is just another thing to check off the list, but I've been doing a lot better, I think. So I'm also part of a Bible study with my friends where we meet once a month. And so there's a chapter that we read and then we talk about it together. And right now we're going through the book, Having a Merry Heart in a Martha World. And I'm not gonna get the book open and read you the exact quote, but in there she talked about this topic really extensively, and I think it's chapter 5 or 6, and she said, how did you ever think that you're not just letting yourself down when you skip your quiet time, your time with God? You're actually letting him down because he looks forward to it too. And that was just a new thought for me that, wow, God wants to commune with me and he's missing out too. I feel like I always am trying to do devotions to get things for myself, but we're also giving God our worship. He's receiving something from us. He's receiving our attention, and we're giving him an opportunity to speak to us before the busyness of the day takes over and all the thoughts and worries. And that was just a new thought to me, and I really loved it. On the more practical side of things, what do we do with our phone? I know that can be really tough. You know, sometimes we'll just pick it up just to check. We heard it vibrate, and then soon we're on Instagram. Or that's why I think sometimes those devotional apps can be a little dangerous, because there you are on your phone. I myself feel like I have a pretty good balance. My devotions just aren't that long that I can't let somebody sit for 15 minutes, you know, until I check my phone. But sometimes if there is something that's like on my mind in the middle of my devotions and I'm like worried that I'm gonna forget, I'll quickly write it down in my planner so I remember to do it right afterwards. Or like sometimes I'll do it right then. Like if I forgot to text the bus driver that Evonnie's going home with me that day or something like that, I'll just do it quick and get it off the list. An older, wiser woman at my church one time said, it's helpful just to write something down and get it off your plate so that you can focus back on what you were trying to do in the first place. So I thought that was really wise. Don't be too hard on yourself. And yeah, I don't know, we all have different brains. Some of us are much more ADHD-ish than others. So yeah, do what works for you and try it out. And if you don't have a hunger to be with God and to do your quiet time and your devotional time, He understands. Pray to Him, tell Him about that, and ask for a hunger and a desire and a thirst for His Word. I think something that's very sobering is the thought that when we go through rough times, we lean on Him so much more and we're so much more faithful with our quiet time, our devotional time. Maybe we have a sick child, a wayward child, a stressful family situation or something, and we're so much quicker to like focus on God and lean on Him then. So don't wait for the hard times. Be consistent even in the good times. And I feel like the good times are sometimes the best times to do that in-depth Bible study. Sometimes it's just life is so hard. We just want to go to the Psalms and read something that just gives us some, like a pep talk for the day or just like fills us up. But in those good times when we don't feel like there's a lot of pressing prayer requests and issues, I think that's a good time to really study on something that's happening in your life. Me having a YouTube channel, there's always topics I'm wanting to dive into so that I can talk with you guys about. Or yeah, I know there's a lot of people in here with a lot of varying views. Probably not on this video because this is a very niche video, and I'm sure I told God I don't even care how this video performs. It's just something that I felt that I wanted to get out there. And of course, I hope that all the women that need this find this video. So share it with a friend if you have one that you think would enjoy this video or it would be a help to them. I know me and my friends often talk about our personal Bible study and the struggles of it all and everything. So yeah, maybe this video would be a good pep talk for someone in your life. So just hit that little arrow down below and it'll say share. You can copy the link and text it to a friend. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this one. Check out the links if you need any of those resources, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.